This video is about roof racks for your Cybertruck.
I just finished installing the roof racks in my Cybertruck that I got from EVBASE. In this video, I'm going to give you an unboxing, a complete tutorial, how-to, walk you through how to do it quickly, and then I'll give you my honest review of how I think the product works. And if you stick with me to the very end, I'll show you how if you watch my video and use my link, you can get 20% off, not just the roof racks, but anything on their site.
Box of ladder racks is how they came, just like this. We'll start with the unboxing.
The box was a good heavy weight, which is good news to me initially. It was packaged and saraned up really well. Once I open it up, I've got a bag of instructions, some of those pads, screws, nuts, bolts, and in there I have all of the posts and rails.
So after I read through the instructions, the first thing I did was take everything out of the package and kind of lay it out so I could see what I was working with. So initially it's pretty clear as to what's what. You'll have your 4 different sizes of bars, and your end caps here are labeled in RH meaning right hand and LH meaning left hand. Then there's 3 that are the same of each, right and left, and there's 1 different, the left hand 1 and the right hand 1. The ones that have the 1s on them are bigger than the other ones. You would figure this out on your own pretty quick, but it means right hand is as if you're driving the truck. So it's on your right hand side of the passenger side, then obviously the left hand would be like the driver's side of the truck. Now if you notice, the crossbars themselves are incrementally getting larger. The smaller ones are going to go towards the front, which they're labeled as 1 in the box. So right hand 1 would be the front right passenger side of the truck. Okay, so here's the top view of your truck, and you're just going to put a little bit of pressure on the inside, and they're going to flip open. Now you'll see on mine here, I have a wire inside here on the passenger side, which is eventually going to be to a light bar. That Tesla kind of leaves that for you. But if you go down here to the other one over the glass, same thing, pressure on the inside, you'll see just your 2 posts. And then the back 2 on the bed, same kind of thing. You can pop it open by putting some pressure on the inside. Same thing on the back, pop that open.
You'll start with removing the nuts from the posts with a 10mm socket wrench.
So it also came with these 8 little pads. They're harder to touch, but they're kind of like a foam. These would get pinched between the racks themselves in the truck. They all look to be the same exact size, and they all have a little rectangle punched out of them. So it looks like they'll fit just fine. With these little pads, which by the way, the white is just like a double stick tape you're gonna pull off and stick down, of course, to the truck, and then the other side is gonna stick to the rack itself. So after some fiddling, I realized the thin side, which is here on my right, is gonna go to the inside of the truck. And if you'll notice, one end is a little bit smaller than the other. If you can't tell in the picture, you'll see the frame, but the smaller end is gonna go up front. It's gonna line up just like that over the hole. And then as you can see, once the RH1 goes over it, it's gonna rest on it and kind of look like it belongs. First, I'll be installing the LH1, the left-hand one, and the lettering of this is gonna go to the inside of the truck. So now that I got the nuts off, I'm gonna slide this down right over the top. Right now, after I put this on, fits great by the way, is I no longer have access to get to the nuts to put those back on top of those bolts I just took them off of. But you'll notice here, which clearly is defined in the directions, that there's the 2 little Allen wrench screw heads I'll have to pull out to get the back of this.
For the most part, I just needed the Allen wrench to get them loosened, and then I was able to screw them out the rest of the way by hand.
So you can see, now that gives you easy access to the old bolt screws, and it supplies you with a black nut and washer for each one of these all the way down.
Then you just go ahead and put the black nut back on, and I got it finger tight all the way down. Then went ahead and put that 10mm socket back on to snug it down.
I would recommend dry fitting it first with the white protective layer on before you pull it off and start using the sticky that's probably only good to stick really good once. First side done, and I'm gonna go ahead and leave this cover off for now because I feel like I'm gonna need access to this here in the future again once I'm running the bar through.
On to removing the nuts from the R1 of the right side. And then I'll remove the white sticky here and push it down to the plastic stick.
And one little trick I learned from the first one is obviously this glass roof is slanted. And so I went ahead and grabbed my little magnet bolt bend to put this on top of the truck. So when I take my nuts out and eventually the bolts out of the rail itself, they were just rolling down the truck. So something like this would really help you a lot. So again, here now on the right side, the passenger side, the RH1, and again, letters to the inside of the truck.
I'll again remove these long screws with the Allen wrench and set the metal cover off to the side. And in case you were wondering, this front right one, RH1, is the one that had the cord for future light bar power left in it, and there's still plenty of room left inside the base that you'll be able to get to and access for future use.
I've got each of the 8 posts in. Time for the rails. I'm starting with the shortest rail, which is labeled number 1, which is the shortest, meaning the closest up to the steering wheel. I'm gonna go ahead and pop these 2 rubber grommets out to let it allow to physically slide through. Once in place, you're gonna use the supplied Allen wrench and the short black screw and put it down through the top of the crossbar into its brace below. Once in place, you just tighten it up.
Putting in one Allen screw and then the other. Then I'll move to the other side of the truck, removing the rubber grommets, and then again putting in one Allen screw, then the other.
Once the screws are in place, you can replace the little rubber grommets you took out back into the top.
Then you'll put the end plate back on using the 2 longer Allen head screws that you took out earlier. Be careful not to over tighten these. They're just holding the cover on.
Same steps over and over again for 2, 3, and 4. The side that goes up, you'll have the 2 grooves, and the side that goes down towards the truck will be the single groove.
I turned my head for a second, and I got a little white spider making a nest in my base.
So as I showed you earlier, these little foam double-sided stick tape cushions go between the brace here and the hard plastic of the Cybertruck. Now this is like shiny hard, and I think this could scratch real easy, so this is important. However, I elected not to put these on the bed. I left both of these out and just put the brace itself right under the bed. Now this is up to you what you want to do. I chose not to because I think there's a chance I'll take these bottom 2 off occasionally to do things like put larger things in my bed or to load the cyber tent, which I'll be putting a video in next week about how all that fits with these. So I want to be able to access these and pull these out and leave nothing remaining. So that's up to you how you want to do it, but I chose not to. And for what it's worth, I still have, I feel like, complete rigidity as long as these tabs are in the crossbars. And the last thing I'm wondering is, are they car wash safe? Let's find out.
And as we go through this car wash, it's a good time to remind you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
All right, so just left the car wash here. We're gonna check and see if we picked up any stray bristles.
At initial glance, I don't see anything. Checking the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and eventually 4th rails. Looks like no bristles to me.
So not that I had any doubts, but sure seems like it's car wash safe also.
Some of the benefits of having 4 racks, yes, it allows you to secure long ladders like pictured above, but also, let's say you have a cargo box like I have here. Yes, you can push it all the way forward and expose your bed, but you're going to hit a ton of wind resistance and hurt your mileage. The 3rd and 4th racks allow you to slide this back down over the bed if you'd like, saving your mileage and still giving you plenty of extra support to hold things like lumber or Christmas decorations. Make sure to like this video and hit that link below to get yourself 20% off.